Hey guys, it's Deacon Matt, and I thought I would give you a quick update on how my family and I are doing. We're actually doing all right. We're doing pretty good. Nobody's sick, which is great. Actually, it's really kind of unusual for this time of year because usually in March, there's colds going around and allergies, and none of us even have the sniffles. So we're counting our blessings there. We're getting a little bit stir crazy in the house. Most of us are introverts and homebodies, and so we're actually adjusting pretty well to having to stay at home all the time. Our kids are homeschooled, so there hasn't been too much of a change in their routine, but still we're not able to do the things that we're used to doing, going to the library. The kids have game nights that they enjoy going to, and what's actually hardest is they're not able to visit their grandparents. Both my parents and my wife's parents are kind of in that at-risk category, and so we're playing it safe and keeping the kids home, and they live close by, so they're used to seeing their grandparents pretty often, and so it's hard on them not doing that, and it's hard on our parents not seeing their grandkids. That's kind of been the worst of it so far, but we're doing all right. Everyone's healthy, and we're enjoying the extra time that we have at home to spend with the family, playing a lot of games, with the kids, and watching a lot of movies. And I'm spending more time, here at home and doing some yard work. And got our donkey here. See her ears there in the camera. See if she'll make a little appearance there. There's Lucy. So getting to hang out with the animals a little bit more, and that's fun. But I wanted to give you an update and just let us know that, and also just talk to you about how how things are going. How's my Lent been going, and how's your Lent been going? Usually when we ask that, what we mean is, how are you doing in those Lenten devotions and things that you kind of set out to do at the beginning of Lent. And if that's how we are going to evaluate things, my Lent's been going pretty poorly. I didn't set out to do a whole lot of extra things this Lent. I've been trying to do a little bit better, growing in just regular everyday penances throughout the year generally, and so I didn't really feel like I needed to add a whole lot new during Lent this year. So there's only really a couple of things that I wanted to add, a few extra prayers, to my regular prayer life, a couple of other penances, and for the most part, once this coronavirus outbreak hit, everything just kind of went by the wayside, and I found it really difficult to keep up with some of those things, even the simple things that I set out for myself to do. And I know the reason why, and it's because my routine has been disrupted. We're all creatures of habit, and I know that I am. I do well when I have a good routine, and for a while I'd been in a pretty good routine of personal prayer, liturgical prayer. I had time set aside for work, time set aside for family, time set aside for, studying, time set aside for these different things that are important to me. And now, even though on the one hand, I have a whole lot more time on my hands and a whole lot more time with my family, and I'm working from home, and I have a lot more discretion over my schedule, because my routine has been thrown kind of all out of whack. Certain things are suffering and falling by the wayside. And so I know I need to be more intentional as the days and the weeks progress about establishing a new routine for me as far as, this new reality is. And that was hard to do a couple of weeks ago because it seemed like every single day we were getting new updates and new restrictions on what we could and couldn't do. And, hopefully now that's kind of settled, at least for the time being, and we're able to establish a new routine. And I know that this has been difficult for many of you too that I've talked to. One of the more difficult things I know, spiritually speaking, just apart from the general worry and concern that all of us have over this coronavirus, is just the unsettling effect that not being at school, not being in your regular classes, not being able to spend time with the people you're used to spending time with, and not being able to participate in the liturgical life of the church like you're used to, has really shaken you up, and it's made it harder to participate in your prayer life and your faith life the way that you're used to. And I know that this is true even because when you guys go home over summer break and you come back, or even over fall break or spring break, those shorter breaks, I know I've heard you tell me that it's harder for you to practice your faith life at home because when you're at school, you have a certain routine that you follow, and you have certain things that you can take advantage of to bolster yourself in the faith. Bible studies that you go to, the times of adoration that we have, our group prayer times together. And then when you're on your own at home, you don't have those things, and your schedule is disrupted. And so now it's going to become even more important to you, both in your academic life, because all your classes are online now, and you're kind of on your own schedule for that, but also in your prayer life, to establish a new routine. Figure out what's going to work for you so that you can be attentive to those different aspects of your life that you need to be attentive to, in terms of your study, in terms of your social relationships, and in terms of your prayer, your relationship with God. So that's what I want to talk about tomorrow in our next video update, is how we can do some things to establish a routine and why that's important in our life. And then the day after that, we're going to talk a little bit about what to do when you get thrown out of that routine. And so that's a little forecast of what's to come. But in the meantime, continue to pray for me, please, as I pray for you guys every day. I miss you and can't wait to see you back. God bless.